So I did a video 2 days ago on the Tee Grizzley situation. And in my opinion, you know, I tried to stay in the middle because it's a lot of things that the internet is saying to make this man look guilty. But me, I'm like, you know, I'm just not gonna say that he was sleeping with his auntie, even though we, you know, clarified that, you know, it's not his auntie by blood, this is an auntie through marriage. But still in all, I'm not gonna say that he was sleeping with the lady. I'm not gonna say that he got her pregnant. I'm not gonna say that he, you know, potentially probably knocked off allegedly because of music, or, you know, she might have been carrying the child. This is just me, in my opinion, because I would rather wait until more facts come out. Following content creators just building narratives based on what they think, I'm not gonna paint that on my platform. But after running into some Detroit content creators and just seeing a couple YouTubers who are familiar with this situation, who've been talking about it for like 3 or 4 years, just come back and do new content on this and refresh your memory on stuff that they said a while back. I'm not gonna say Tee Grizzley guilty, but it do make him look like he could be possibly in trouble for something. I'm coming across things where people was voice messaging in DM.
Everybody on the east side know that, nigga. Them been facts. What you talking about? How the you don't know? You mean? You know that everybody who killed everybody and popped everybody, but you don't know how son they got down on Auntie though. Bro, what you think? What kind of crime reporter is you? You mean?
Stuff was being wrote on Reddit literally after it happened, but no one knew outside of Detroit what was going on. If you stayed in Detroit, or if you was tied to the situation, you knew. But like I say, this backdoor theory, people sometimes run with that and think that the backdoor is the play where, okay, it's just like this. I can be cool with a person, but I'm way tighter. This is just one example of what a backdoor could look like. I'm cool with this person. Just say I'm cool with John. John is my homeboy. And then I start hanging with some other people that benefit me more than a little John financially, because they got more motion. Next thing you know, John started to become more of a liability being around me than an asset, because he ain't got that much to offer. I set it up to where something just miraculously, just mysteriously just happened to John, and I'm nowhere around. But the people that I started doing business with, that I introduced John to, and I stopped dealing with John because they had more going on than him, are the people that took John out. Come to find out. That's like an example of like getting backdoor. Wu-Thang 600 is the dude that's on trial right now. He's from Chicago. He tied to 600 OTF. You know, he's affiliate of that squad. And he on trial right now for the murder of Joe Bina Brown. And some of the stuff that's being laid out in the courtroom ties into a lot of what's been said on the streets. That's the crazy part to me. And not only that, it ties in so deep to the streets and what the streets been saying, that it's hard for you to not watch this video to the end and think that Tee Grizzley is not a suspect or a potential suspect. And to be honest with you, the way that they arrested this dude and how fast they picked him up within 2 months, it let you know too that the police was on their job and they were pretty much 100% sure that they had the right person. So that screen record that I just posted in the beginning, that screen record was posted literally right after Wu-Thang 600 was picked up and arrested and charged for the murder of Joe Bina Brown. 2 months after this shit happened. That was in 2019. So back to this backdoor theory. If we going off the back door, is looking at what the internet was saying. The internet is like, this is crazy to see that this man is tied to 600, O-Block, OTF, all these guys, Boona, Booker, Lil Durk, whoever, out of Chicago, and he was picked up and charged with the murder of Tee Grizzley's auntie 2 months after the fact. But you still hanging around these dudes. Last year in 2024, I think 2023, it's been within the last 2 years, Tee Grizzley got married. One of the main affiliates of Lil Durk and one of the head leaders in 600 was in Tee Grizzley's wedding. And some of the same dudes that's tied to this murder, one of the guys was in attendance. So when you hear him say things in the interview like he was a target, it's like, man, either you playing crazy and you know more than what you trying to paint to the public, or you guilty, or you just don't know nothing. It's stuff like that just in the last 2 or 3 days that then kind of made me go, that's why people automatically, when it comes to the internet judging, that's why it's so easy for the internet to run and investigate however they want to investigate, and you get judged based on public opinion, because a lot of things just make people look like suspects sometimes in more ways than they even realize. And you think you staying as far off the radar as possible, but really you showing more than you think that you hide by being quiet. Sometimes being quiet says a lot. It speaks more volumes than people think. I don't think they realize. When Wu-Tang got picked up, this was 2 months after the situation. The police in Detroit was able to figure out who he was through a LPR system that they ran. This is a license plate reader. I guess it's like cameras on stoplights throughout the city, where they was able to track this car and run the license plate. And when they ran the license plate, it come back to Wu-Tang 600. Not only that, this car is stolen. Not only is this car stolen from a dealership way in New York. This same rental, once they track it, traveled 2 days prior from Chicago to Detroit before the murder happened. This same car. Once the car traveled from Chicago to Detroit, this man's cell phone tower pinged him being at the exact same location that Tee Grizzley auntie was murdered at, about a block away. And he sat for 2 hours. Now the court documents say an hour and 56, an hour and 57 minutes. That's 2 hours. Again, is these type of things where, man, the video that I made 2 days ago, when I tried to like kind of give him the benefit of the doubt, it's like, man, the math ain't math. This same rental leaves Detroit, I think like the same day or a few hours later. And once they track this car, man, this is the most crazy part that I feel like make all this shit just go, what the fuck is going on? When they track this car back to Chicago, they pull up on this man in like an alley park. He do the TK, he do the race. They finally get him, stop him, arrest him, detain him. And the same exact gun that's tied to the murder in Detroit of Joe Bina Brown, this man got the gun on him. This the part of the video where I'm telling you, man, it's like, people make it hard to not be judged by the public. And not only that, it's like, it's even more fucked up when you sit up here and you think people just making conspiracies, but all the time stuff just ain't no conspiracy. It's just like common sense is common sense. And if you got it and you use it good and you can use it right, you know how to put 2 and 2 together. And rappers sometimes, to me, man, I feel like they play the public so crazy. That's why I say, man, when you open your mouth sometimes, it's not what you say, it's how you say. And sometimes the way that you move after a situation, it make me feel like after hearing all this stuff being brought up in the courtroom, it be reason why rappers started to change over time. You ever notice, it's like the Durk situation. I said it in my video the other day. When rappers going through a phase in their career where they in a crash out era, where they always rapping about dumb shit, they rapping about getting shit knocked off, they rapping about getting people murdered or how many bags they can drop and things of that nature. You know something going on, or they done went through some type of traumatic change that something that didn't hit them. When they start cutting their hair and they start tying knots to women and start trying to rap about love and or just barely making music, you went from being a person who got your feet on the gas, Lil Durk, to where you don't care what type of music you put out there. You start changing your religion. You get the wicks, your shahada, you become a Muslim and stuff like that. You go get married. You start trying to paint this narrative as if 4 or 5 years ago, that life didn't exist at all. This be the shit right here that I don't like about rappers, man. I'm being honest with you. And I can sit up here in this video for content reasons and try to be politically correct, like my personal opinion. Like if I had to judge based on public opinion, man, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Like sometimes these dudes, I feel like, really be guilty of the shit that the internet can put together on them. And when we sitting down and we trying to put 2 and 2 together, we ain't dumb, man. And that defamation shit, when you gotta tiptoe over stuff, see, that's why people always, at least like me, a small content creator, you always trying to tiptoe around stuff and you keep this certain smile or you try that. But man, I'm just gonna be real in this situation, dog. All this shit look fucked up. All this shit look crazy. And it's so many layers, and it's like, what make it even more crazy? What make it even more crazy? Because from beginning to the end, it just make Tee Grizzley just look like a prime suspect. How much music has he been putting out lately? Then he just get married not too long ago. Ain't he walking around here trying to practice like family shit? And which all this stuff be cool, but the thing that, like, I'm a real rap fan, man. Not a fan of rappers. I like rappers to the point where I like studying their upbringing more than the shit that they rap about, because the study their upbringing will help you understand more what they talk about and if they just faking or not. Whether they just in a crash era and they got money and they out here ego tripping, or they really been through some shit and they really got some heart and soul and there's some trauma in this music. That's why ESTG is kind of like one of my favorite rappers right now. You gotta really go through something to rap about shit sometimes. If not, you gonna always have an era of people where it's like, am I the only person who noticed that it ain't no coincidence all this shit that's coming back to catch up with a lot of these rappers, the Tee Grizzleys, the Durks, the shit that went on in Chicago, the YNW, Melly shit, the Jacksonville, Florida rappers with Young and Ace and all that stuff, Julio, all this shit happened in the same period of time. 2018, 2019, 2020. This was really like low-key, high-key, a crash out era in the rap game. And I don't think we were sitting back just paying attention to this shit, man. COVID was going on. You had new rappers that was on the up and come, like Pooh Shiesty. Like I was just telling my girl the other day, I honestly feel like Pooh Shiesty is a lot of the reason for this era of niggas walking around with these masks on and just thinking it's cool to walk in public store like this. They call them shiesty masks, not because niggas do shiesty shit with them. Of course they do, but that's in honor of the person who created that being a trend. So if Big Scar had made that a trend, it'll be called the Scar mask. If Big 30 had that, it'll be the 30 mask. Like Pooh Shiesty made that a trend in an era where we walked around everybody like fools with these masks on our faces because of COVID. And he took something and made it cooler in the rap era where it was like a trend for him, but it became a thing where people already don't want to wear these masks to begin with. So, damn, I ain't think of that. And it worked. But look at the results of that dumb shit. Everything that goes on now, like you got people actually in California walking stores and robbing, stealing shit, which the laws are getting better for it now. But when they do this shit, look how they dress. Look at the starter pack. Look at the mask. Look at the jeans. Look at like all this shit be music industry influence. So I think we was just sitting back and caught up into, you know, everything that was going on at that time, where these niggas thought it was so many people inside that they could do shit outside and get away with it. Now all this stuff is coming back to hunt them. So with that being said, you know, I had a whole video that I was gonna break down about this and give you all facts and what the court said. I'm gonna let y'all follow this the way that y'all want to follow it. This is my personal opinion. As of what I see right now in this case, from other content creators covering it, from what I done wrote in my own journal, I done created like just journalistic shit, just writing through this stuff, man, trying to make this shit make sense, pages of this shit. I'm gonna be real with you, man. Tee Grizzley might be done. I think it's more of a percentage of him being guilty in this situation than not guilty. And if he ain't guilty, it's gonna take a damn good team of lawyers and defense people to prove me wrong. And I'm gonna end it on that. This shit getting ridiculous, man. And I'm not saying free nobody. I don't care how much of your music I like, how much of a fan I like, how much you embrace the cult, like, or what you do for your people and your community. Like, all that shit do not matter if none of you niggas make it to the end of this shit. You either die before you able to provide a life for yourself and your whole family and not continue to pass down trauma and break a curse in your family, or you end up going to fucking jail. This shit is crazy, man. But this be the stuff that we like, though. I'm a victim of it. Because I sit up and I listen to this shit too. Look who I just said my favorite rapper was at the time, right now, ESTG. So I'm a contradiction in a way too when it comes to it. But the best advice I can give anybody that watch this video to the end, man, is try to encourage your younger generation, whether it's your kids, your nephew, let your cousins, whoever, man, show them this type of shit and let that's going on with these rappers right now, and let this be an example of what not to be in life. And when God bless you with something, when God put you in a situation where you're able to change your life and the people around you, make it count. Money is not power. Money can get you certain things, but when you start looking at money as a tool where it's like it's power, like literally power, I don't fuck with that. I don't. Because it be people sometimes who is like they done gave the wrong person money. Because now this person think that this money make them invincible. Shit crazy, man.